Your check engine light just came on. The dealer wants $150 just to plug in their scanner. Then they'll probably find 3 more problems and hand you a $1,200 estimate. But what if I told you there's a reset trick that fixes dozens of common Subaru problems? No tools required, no mechanic needed, completely free. I'm talking about issues like rough idle, transmission shuddering, electrical glitches, and even some check engine light. Problems that shops charge hundreds to diagnose and fix. Today, I'm revealing 8 free reset procedures that Subaru dealerships don't want you to know about. These aren't temporary band-aids, they're legitimate solutions that address actual system calibration issues. I've used these resets hundreds of times in my shop, and they work. But mechanics don't advertise them because there's no money in free fixes. Stick around, because these secrets could save you thousands in unnecessary repairs. Let's expose these hidden reset tricks. Reset number 1. The ECU Learning Reset. Your Subaru's computer learns your driving habits over time. It adjusts fuel mixture, shift points, and throttle response based on how you drive. But sometimes this learning gets corrupted or outdated. The result? Rough idle, poor fuel economy, sluggish acceleration. Dealers will run diagnostics and maybe reflash the ECU for $200 to $300. But you can reset the learning parameters yourself in 5 minutes. Here's how. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for exactly 15 minutes. This clears the short-term memory without losing permanent settings. Reconnect the battery and start the engine. Let it idle for 5 minutes without touching anything. No AC, no radio, no accessories. Drive normally for 20 to 30 miles, mixing city and highway. The ECU relearns optimal parameters for your driving style. This reset fixes rough or erratic idle, poor throttle response after battery replacement, transmission shifting issues, reduced fuel economy after modifications. I've seen this eliminate problems that had owners chasing their tails for months. It's the first thing I do when diagnosing drivability issues. Reset number 2. The Throttle Position Sensor Relearn. Your throttle body controls airflow into the engine. Over time, carbon buildup changes how the throttle plate moves. The computer's memory doesn't match the actual throttle position. This causes stalling, rough idle, or high idle speeds. Dealers charge $150 to $250 to clean the throttle body and perform a relearn. You can do the relearn yourself after cleaning completely free. Here's the procedure. Turn the ignition to on, but don't start the engine. Wait 10 seconds. Turn the ignition to off. Wait 10 seconds. Repeat this cycle 3 times total. On some models, you'll hear the throttle actuator move during this process. Start the engine and let it idle for 2 minutes. The computer has now relearned the throttle position range. This reset is especially important after cleaning the throttle body, replacing the throttle body, disconnecting the battery, any intake system work. Your idle should stabilize immediately after this reset. If problems persist, you might have a vacuum leak or other issue, but try this first before spending money on diagnostics. Reset number 3. The Transmission Shift Relearn. CVT transmissions learn your driving patterns to optimize shift points. When this learning gets corrupted, you get shuddering, delayed engagement, or harsh shifts. Dealers will quote transmission service or even replacement, but often it's just a calibration issue that a reset fixes. Here's how to reset CVT learning. Start the engine and let it warm up to normal operating temperature. Shift to drive and drive slowly in a straight line. Gradually accelerate from 0 to 40 miles per hour without stopping. Maintain 40 miles per hour for about a mile. Gently decelerate to a complete stop. Shift to park and turn off the engine. Wait 30 seconds. Repeat this process 3 times total. This teaches the CVT the proper engagement and shift characteristics. For conventional automatic transmissions, the procedure is similar. Warm up the engine completely. Drive through all gears sequentially from first to top gear. Do this 3 to 4 times, varying speed and load. The transmission relearns optimal shift points. This reset eliminates shuddering during acceleration, delayed engagement when shifting to drive, rough or late shifts, transmission hunting between gears. I've had customers ready to replace their CVT. Then this reset solved everything. Always try this before assuming you need expensive transmission work. Reset number 4. The steering angle sensor calibration. After alignments, tire rotations, or battery disconnections, your steering angle sensor can lose calibration. This triggers traction control and stability warnings on your dash. Your car might pull slightly to one side even though the alignment is perfect. Dealers charge $100 to $150 for steering sensor calibration, but you can do it yourself in under a minute. Here's the free reset. Start the engine and let it idle. Turn the steering wheel all the way to the left until it stops. Hold it there for 2 seconds. Turn the steering wheel all the way to the right until it stops. Hold it there for 2 seconds. Return the steering wheel to center position. Drive straight for about 50 feet at low speed. The system recalibrates and relearns the center position. Most warning lights will turn off immediately. This reset is crucial after wheel alignments, tire rotations, or replacements. Suspension work. Battery disconnections. Anytime you get unexpected traction control or VSC warnings. If lights don't clear after this reset, you might have actual sensor damage. But 90% of the time, this simple procedure solves the problem. Reset number 5. The window auto up-down relearn. Power windows lose their one-touch function after battery disconnections. The window motors forget their endpoint positions. This is annoying, but it's also a safety feature that prevents pinching. Dealers might charge $50 to reprogram all 4 windows, but you can restore auto function yourself in 2 minutes per window. Here's how. Turn the ignition to on, but don't start the engine. Roll the window all the way down using the switch. Once fully down, hold the switch down for 3 more seconds. Roll the window all the way up. Once fully up, hold the switch up for 3 more seconds. The window has now relearned its travel limits. Test the one-touch function. It should work perfectly. Repeat this process for each window that lost its auto function. This reset is necessary after battery replacement or disconnection, window motor replacement, any electrical work that interrupted power. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Reset number 6. The sunroof initialization. Sunroofs can act glitchy after battery disconnections. They might stop halfway, refuse to close, or only work with constant button pressure. This happens because the motor loses its endpoint memory. Dealers charge $100 to $150 to reinitialize the sunroof system. Here's the free way to do it. Turn the ignition to on. Close the sunroof completely using the switch. Once closed, continue holding the close button for 10 seconds. Open the sunroof completely. Once fully open, continue holding the open button for 10 seconds. Close the sunroof again and hold for 5 seconds. The sunroof now remembers its full range of motion. Test the one-touch functions. Both open and close should work smoothly. This reset solves sunroof stopping mid-travel, loss of one-touch operation, sunroof reversing when trying to close, unusual motor noises, or hesitation. If the sunroof still malfunctions after this reset, you might have a mechanical issue, but 9 times out of 10, this initialization fixes everything. Reset number 7. The tire pressure monitoring system reset. Your TPMS light comes on even though all tires are properly inflated. This happens after tire rotations, pressure adjustments, or sensor battery replacements. Dealers charge $50 to $75 to reset the TPMS system, but most Subarus have a built-in reset procedure that's completely free. Here's how to reset TPMS. Make sure all tires are inflated to the correct pressure. Check the door jamb sticker. Turn the ignition to on, but don't start the engine. Locate the TPMS reset button, usually under the steering wheel or in the glove box. Press and hold the button until the TPMS light blinks 3 times. Start the engine and drive for 10 to 15 minutes at speeds above 30 miles per hour. The system relearns the sensor positions and pressures. For newer Subarus without a reset button, inflate all tires to the correct pressure. Drive at highway speeds for 15 to 20 minutes. The system automatically relearns sensor positions. Some models require using the infotainment screen. Go to Settings, greater than Vehicle Settings greater than TPMS select Set or Initialize. Follow the on-screen prompts. This reset is essential after tire rotations, seasonal tire changes, replacing TPMS sensors, adjusting tire pressures. Don't ignore TPMS lights, but also don't pay for a reset you can do yourself. Reset number 8. The all-wheel drive system reset. Subaru's AWD system can throw errors after certain maintenance or driving conditions. You might see warning lights for X mode, VDC, or hill assist. The AWD might feel like it's not engaging properly. Dealers will run diagnostics and possibly reset various modules for $150 to $200. But there's a free reset sequence that often solves these issues. Here's the AWD reset procedure. Turn the ignition to off and remove the key. Wait 30 seconds. Start the engine and let it idle for 30 seconds. With your foot on the brake, shift through all gear positions, PRND and back to P. Pause in each gear for 2 seconds. Turn off the engine and wait 10 seconds. Restart and drive in a figure 8 pattern in a parking lot for 3 to 4 loops. This helps the AWD system relearn wheel speed relationships. Drive normally for 20 to 30 miles, including turns and various speeds. This reset recalibrates AWD power distribution traction control parameters, hill assist functionality, X mode engagement, if equipped. I've seen this clear warning lights that had owners convinced they needed expensive AWD repairs. It's worth trying before you spend money on diagnostics. When resets don't work. These reset procedures fix calibration and learning issues, but they won't fix actual hardware failures. If you've tried the appropriate reset and problems persist, you might have failed sensors that need replacement, mechanical wear requiring parts, actual electrical faults in modules or wiring, contaminated fluids causing system problems. Don't keep resetting the same issue, hoping it'll magically disappear. If a reset doesn't work after 2 to 3 attempts, it's time for proper diagnostics. But always try the free reset first before paying for repairs. You'd be surprised how many major problems are just calibration issues. Why mechanics don't tell you this? Here's the uncomfortable truth. There's no profit in free fixes. A shop that charges $150 for diagnostics doesn't want you to know about free resets. They'd rather run tests, possibly replace parts, and collect a nice repair bill. I'm not saying all mechanics are dishonest. Most are good people trying to make a living. But the business model doesn't reward giving away free solutions. That's why these reset procedures stay hidden. They're in the service manuals, but technicians don't advertise them. Now you know the secrets that mechanics don't volunteer. Use this knowledge to solve simple problems without opening your wallet. The right way to use these resets. Here's how to approach these procedures responsibly. Try the relevant reset when you first notice a problem. If it works, great, you saved money and time. If it doesn't work, don't keep trying it repeatedly. Move on to proper diagnostics. Keep a log of when you perform resets. If you're resetting the same system monthly, there's an underlying problem. Don't use resets to mask problems that need actual repair. That check engine light might be warning you of something serious. Share this knowledge with other Subaru owners. The more people who know these tricks, the less we all spend on unnecessary repairs. These 8 reset procedures have saved my customers thousands of dollars. They're legitimate solutions to real problems, not gimmicks or temporary fixes. The next time your Subaru acts up, try the appropriate reset before calling a mechanic. You might solve the problem in 5 minutes without spending a dime. And if the reset doesn't work, at least you tried the free solution first. That's just smart car ownership. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.